to another OPT game. I am your host and commentator once again, Tw1sted welcoming you to another week 3 matchup, ending our stage 1 right here. Sorry, I had to get a drink after this last one. This is Tw1sted Fate versus 7evonwatch, two highly competitive teams here in our league. Hold on, I'm getting this on the self-promotion, so I'm kind of just going to talk like this for a bit. So, both of these teams coming in looking really strong in their last outings, both coming off. They're doing pretty well. So, let me post this in self promotion. Nice. So we'll start getting some crowds, people's in here. Let's see, boys. I don't have them. Okay, I can't help there. So we're waiting on Visor. Let's see what's going on with that. We got one team ready, waiting on Tw1sted. So as we kind of wait here, let's take a look at these teams' past performances, especially last week. Here we go. I accept a friend request real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Nice. We're back on the view. Looking at last week's games, both of these teams did very well. Tw1sted Fate, the opponent that the Fallout faced last week, won 3-2 fashion. Very nice outing for them. 7evonwatch bounced back, did very well last week as well, bouncing off a week 1 loss to win 2-1-1, showing some pretty nice outing for them. So both teams coming off wins. Both teams doing very well in the standings, at least at this point. Both of them 1-1 entering this game. So a lot is on the line in the standings here. We're going to see how this works out. So we're going to check to see if Tw1sted needs any subs, anything like that, before we start. 7evonwatch is ready to go with their 6, which I will say a good bit of them on this team are really good players. SC is a really good Lucio as well as Mobile. Both of them are some of the top Lucios in the league. Seth K, of course, a very, very strong Ryan. I will say that without fear. He's scary. Okay, we do got to swap before we start our game. Visor versus for GT. Alright. We're going to confirm 7evonwatch is ready. Sorry, it takes me a bit to type. But beyond that, we are ready to enter map 1 here of our, I believe, our final week 3 game. Tw1sted versus 7evonwatch. Both teams are ready. Let's go. Tw1sted v 7evonwatch. Hanamura. Let's see where this goes. Alright. So I will say Hanamura, a very nice map as always, and we have seen a lot of teams, especially in our last game we had on here. Second point was really, really close. So I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. So let me check. Let me get to the YouTube feed. There we go. I got y'all. So if you have any comments or anything throughout the broadcast, post them below in the comments section of the YouTube. We'll try to get to them as we go. But both of these teams looking very strong in their last outings, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. I will say the start in 6 that we see here for Tw1sted is a very dominant force. Just having played them last week on this same map, they are scary. And it looks like they will be running, at least out of the gate and spawn, looks like they'll be running a Reaper Genji combo with the Brig, Reinzar, and of course the Mercy here. That is very important for defense, at least in my opinion. Helps you get back a quick death. Maybe you don't have to come all the way back from spawn, especially with the way Hanamura first point is in the spawn system. It is very difficult to bounce back from. It really is. And give me a second. I'm going to get an invite here. My bad here. There we go. There we go. Gonna get another broadcaster in here to help me out. I'm sorry about that. There we go. There's gonna be a couple of cuts. I'm sorry, but so that's a very good defensive comp, I believe, on the side of Tw1sted. Looks like they're gonna have their Genji and Reaper kind of just jumping around up top. On the side of 7evonwatch, we're seeing the Hanzo Junkrat along with Lucio Mercy, and of course Ryan Czar. And joining me now on commentary is Mr. Crit. It's a Crit 16. Welcome.
What's good, guys?
Here we go. First point getting pushed. And Kira already getting a pick on the Mercy in the back lines. Nice pick early on, shutting down any kind of push that they may have had.
Looks like Kira's going to be trying to go that little back flank. Something really common for Reapers to do.
Yeah, looks like he's pushing it out again as he did when they started off. And yep, there he goes, jumping behind.
Yeah, he falls right into a trap, though. Luckily, his Wraith comes off cooldown just in time.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I thought he was just standing there to kind of add to it. Just like, I'm not afraid kind of factor, but I guess not.
No, he just caught the trap there. He's already at 45 for this Death Blossom, though.
So we have a couple of volts really high. Dragon Blade's already almost done as well that I noticed.
Man of Steel is getting really low. Looks like Near's already at Dragon Blade. He's going to go ahead and pull it out.
Oh, yep. And I jumped to the wrong person. Oof. But wherever he went, there he goes. He's just harassing the back lines, getting two. We're tasting the sweet hammer of justice.
Yeah, it looks like Kira is just going to be bouncing back and forth a lot on this Reaper, just trying to control this back and forth. Basically the same thing you do with a Junkrat, only he is in a weird position to do it.
Yeah, but so he's just trying to drop and harass the back lines, and especially when it gets his ult, that could cause a lot of problems for the 7evonwatch team.
7evonwatch, I mean, it's really a surprising team. Oh, looks like Sith and Kira are going to be dueling out. Kira will be able to drop him out.
Never really seen that end well for a lot of Hanzos, I'm not going to lie. That Reaper, if he catches you
gotta land the... Yeah, you gotta land the headshot. The close range battle with Reaper is just like the close range battle with Tracer. If you don't land the headshot, you're wasting your time. Kira gets to pick on Data, and now has Death Blossom. It's like he is going to try to get this Blossom into it. Yeah, he's going to save it. That's a good call there. They did use Blossom, or they did use Sound Barrier, so it's a smart call saving that.
I will say, surprised by that double charge kill there by Jiggly. Yeah, you don't really see that too often, unless it's a boop. I like it, though. I will say, though, having played Tw1sted just last week, this starting six that they do have, like I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, is, I almost guarantee, their strongest six they could bring out at any point. At least having to play them on this point with the Brig, Ryan Czar, is a difficult challenge, especially on defense. You just can't break through it.
Here goes that Death Blossom. I just got a feeling it's going to come out right here. Oh no, it's like Kira's going to chase it spread out.
I mean, what we're seeing here is 7evonwatch is really leaning to that right side coming out of spawn, and I think in this case with the Reaper and how he dominates in close range, you need to move to the left. You need to get in that more open area. Give yourself more space to move.
I'm gonna definitely agree with that. You definitely don't want to be in an alley with the Reaper. It's like being in an alley with a Junkrat. It's just not something you want to do.
Draft coming out with dragons, gonna get one. But it is the main
thing. Here comes the Death Blossom right here in the middle. Oh, and a nice charge there.
There you go.
Westy luckily saving them because that was going to be a huge Blossom right there.
Double shutter by Jiggly. The follow-up not coming up. But there you go. A solo shutter there on Jiggly. Fight still in the favor of 7evonwatch, I believe, with the res. Or at least
I don't know. Visor did just take two there, and now Near's going to drop Sith. They're just going to have to deal with the SC and the Zarya down point. But with two healers, you're in trouble there.
Yeah, that's especially with the Zarya. That's hot, that up in charge. It's not no cakewalk to stop a Zarya like that.
The guy's gonna come out there.
And the grab.
Like yeah, I knew it was coming. Kira had to get this Blossom off.
Yeah,
and Near takes both the kills. Oh, and Junkrat with the flank. Mana still gets to the point, forcing the overtime.
Oof, rip Near in the middle of the Dragon Blade. 14-player kill streak though, nice for him. I didn't notice that. Like
full hold here on the side of Tw1sted.
I mean, we haven't got to see the full hold here on first point a lot during these games, during the stage, so that's kind of a first. I believe.
I believe, who was it? Blackwatch did it to Metal last week, but that's the only time we've had it.
See, that would explain it. I didn't catch that one. Ugh, college is a pain, I will tell you. But I'm kind of interested to see what they'll pull out here on the attack on the side of Tw1sted. I honestly would keep running the same thing, or maybe go a Quadra tank just to make sure you can push through. Because as far as I know, on the side of 7Watch, at least with the 6, they don't really have a brig to try to stop any kind of aggression or really anything to stop an aggressive quadra tank comp.
Yeah.
Unless they try to pull the Bastion toward something they did a while back in a couple scrims, and I think they did it in a game as well. Maybe they tried it against Blackstone, I want to say. But let's see who we'll see, what we'll see from both teams. Looks like right now they're going to run almost identical comps to what they did in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised.
I think these are. I think these are comfort comps for these teams. I think definitely on the side of Tw1sted, this is their comfort comp. Star had that amazing on the Brigida. Misses, pretty much just known for her Mercy play. She will pull out the Orisa at times, but just known for her Mercy. Jiggly and Bizer, a great duo, and then Kira, obviously a Reaper and Near. I don't think he really plays much else, let's be honest. But
I do agree that Brig is very scary from Star, having gotten bashed by it a couple times. And our game.
I'd say, coming from you, Chubby, I think anyone should take a compliment being called a good Brig because you are such a great Brig. So.
You gave me a bit of PTSD there, Star, but here you go. They're trying to push in real quickly, real aggressive. Pin is bubbled.
That's a great call right there. They wrapped around the Reinhardt there and just encompassed him and absolutely destroyed him. They're doing such a great job just really being a tight unit right now. There's nothing they can do.
Ooh, Mister's even pulling out a kill there on the Mercy. There you go, pulling out the pistol. I like it, as that'll be a quick sub 1 minute take, a .1 for Tw1sted taking map 1.
Yeah, I think it was just full blown coordination. They stayed so tight. They just stayed super tight there and played really well.
Here's the play of the game from Near. I believe this was when the grab came out, and never mind. No, this is not what I thought it was. I thought it was something completely different.
This is something you very rarely ever see. A Genji just focusing his ult into a Ryan, and it still worked out for him, so. Well done.
I mean, it got him play, so I would take that in a heartbeat. Which reminds me, did you get to catch the earlier matchup we had between 7 and Blackwatch? We actually got to see a Czar play come out in league action earlier. It was beautiful.
I'm actually upset that I missed that. No, I actually didn't. I was dealing with some stuff due to yesterday's game with the Arctic, so.
Yeah, understandable.
I was discussing some things with some members who left.
But let's see. We're going to see if we have any swap-ins, as we do have a couple of people from both teams joining up during that first map. So let's see if my fingers will allow me to type on my phone. And don't forget, those watching on the YouTube stream, don't be afraid to leave some comments. We've answered a couple before during the games, so just going to keep that in mind. So let's see. Oh, there we go. We got some comments. Just give me a second as I check for subs. Tw1sted's ready. We're waiting on 7Watch.
Give me just a moment. I'll get my laptop set up, and I will check this. I'll check these questions out for us during the stream.
Oh,
that way you can focus on the camera angles.
Oh yeah. I just keep my phone open, like on the Discord. It's kind of fun.
I used to, but then people started texting me all the time, so I answer those as well.
So let's see. Tw1sted is looking good. We're waiting on 7Watch, seeing if they're gonna swap something up.
Yeah, but Tw1sted does have Turtles and GT. GT and actually surprisingly good new addition.
Let's say they've really surprised me in the few scrims I've got to see them play in, and of course, I think they played. Did he join them last week? I can't remember. I'm not good at remembering.
Yeah, I think it was last week when GT joined up. I played. I picked up with a scrim for them the other night, and actually surprisingly well on the Tracer. Soldiers pretty good. Little positioning issues at times, but a rather good player in my opinion.
So we do have
pretty
a
positive
swap.
person as well.
we do have a swap here. Wesley for one of the newcomers to 7Watch. Former member of my team. Looks like Owen. Really good support. He has a pretty decent off support hero pool. I remember Zen, Brig, Mercy, and I think he can play at least every support in the game from what I remember. So I mean,
Nice.
he's a really good
Nice
addition.
flex support. Nice flex support. It's crazy when you think of 7watch and wanting to put in another support player when you have mobile, SC, and data all in.
Yeah, that is true. That kind of puts him at like 4 supports. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
wondering if SC will be running a Junkrat at this point. Maybe we'll see mobile swap
I think that's a
to
bad idea.
the Pharah that he's pulled out before.
SC's Junkrat is highly, highly underrated in my opinion. I think it's one of his best characters. So let's go pull this up. Let's fans have to say.
I swear though, I don't think anything will top yesterday. It was Red 66, and so it was like, you gotta say, yeah, yeet, in the middle of the
Yeah, yeet.
final push. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. It's beautiful.
So let's see,
Hey,
alright.
you want this?
Are both teams ready? Kira's tapping. Okay. Alright, I think
I
we
get it.
are. Yeah, okay. We are ready to start map 2. Both teams are ready. Map 2, Kings Row. Tw1sted in the lead, 1-0. Okay, what do you mean no? I see that. You nerd.
9? You nerd.
No, it was actually NO this time. Confused.
Oh, she actually said no?
Yeah. Hi. But yeah, here we go. Kings Row, the map of endless possibilities, as we always say when we start these streams. Always.
And I'm actually upset not seeing Pona Bear in the lineup because we're not seeing a Widow. As I said, that star goes to Widow.
Yeah, but I do believe they're making the best choice here, having once again played the 6 stack that they have running right now. They seem like a really well-oiled machine. Like, there'd be, honestly, in my mind, no reason you swap them out unless you're just looking to give, like, you're looking for a specialist pick in there. A couple things like that.
I was actually kind of hoping to see them mix it up. I was really hoping to see the Kira on the Tracer. Maybe misclick there.
I think that might be a spawn room pick because I mean,
they're on the defense and I don't know. Is he?
Let's see. On the side of 7watch, we have Ryan, Zarya, and Diva. Yep, triple tank, but without a Lucio.
I think SC's gonna be scouting here. I don't think SC's gonna stay on this. I think SC's just gonna scout here. I think he'll drop back down and switch over to Lucio, and they're gonna get goats against this.
Yeah, I could see goats working out here. We'll see, but we are seeing the same combos we've been seeing from Tw1sted, except they're subbing in a Tracer for the Reaper. Kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, see, this is why you need to be fucking Reaper, you dickbag.
As you can tell, Mrs. Crit is not happy about the fact he's not playing Reaper. But Reaper doesn't counter goats. A lot of people think he does. Reaper doesn't counter goats at all because Reaper gets surrounded out and can't sustain himself.
I honestly think a really good counter would be Ana. Honestly,
Junkrat, Pharah, and Ana are the best 3 characters to counter goats.
Oh, and here we go. Fight breaking out on the point.
Oh, that's a nice pin. That's a huge pin from Jiggly.
Yes, and it looks like it'll get them at least a slight advantage here as they have 3 down. Jiggly getting a double on the Reinhardt. Always nice to see. As they'll be pushing the enemy team back. I will say though, I didn't notice it till that first brawl broke out, but looks like Owen actually jumping on the Reinhardt. Kind of an interesting choice there from him. I'm assuming they needed a tank and wanted to try some new stuff out. I like it. Indeed. Here we go. They're pushing it again with the triple tank. Shattered on both sides. 2 from Owen. Looked like 2 from Jiggly. However, Tw1sted going to clean up real nicely, getting 4 already. make it 5, I think. I don't know, I might have missed one. From the fan section, hello to everybody that just joined and said hello. Nice to see y'all. Here we go. Looks like they're still going with the triple tank, triple support. Honestly, at this point, with the way it's going, you gotta try something new. As there it goes. There's the grab, rally. Coalescence out on 7evonwatch's side, immediately shut down by Near. Star getting
Mobile's just, not able to keep up with Visor right now. He's trying and he's not doing anything wrong. It's just Visor's maintaining this energy so well.
And Kira finally swapping to the Reaper. Maybe gotta try to get in that back line a little bit and distract some of the supports. Maybe get the Lucio early.
Oh, you've got to give up on this. You've got to give up on this diva right now.
I do think you start switching some DPS in at least. Oh, there you go. Soundwave in the back is Near going for the Dragon Blade. I do think that was a good idea by SC there just to save the team from it, and it did counter as Rally comes out on 7evonwatch's side as well. They're trying to push in with the Sombra.
Data's getting a little too aggressive here. And yeah, that's exactly why you couldn't do that. You really got everyone in a position trying to chase Data down.
Diva Bomb. Triple!
Oh, and a nice triple there.
But the grab looks like it's gonna clean up.
But Visor's just going to clean up everything. Jesus Christ, Visor.
They may have gotten a triple, but he's gonna. Okay, he got a triple of his own. Never mind. Definitely cleaning up shop.
It's like Mobile now on the Skinji. That's such an amazing job there. Visor just holding this point by himself until his team was able to respawn.
I will keep saying it time and time again, a high charge Czar is almost like 2 tanks. Like, honestly, the damage they can pull out, plus just the bubbles that they can pull, personal bubbles or otherwise, makes Azaria really strong and effectively gives them 600 health, which is beautiful to have. Except, of course, with that Sombra around. Where it looks like 7evonwatch trying to stagger back in, maybe get one touch. There you go. They will force overtime at least. As this tank
Visor
duo.
on a 20 player kill streak and almost to another grab. That's just absolute.
Yeah,
Hard carry by Visor there.
Yeah, this tank duo dominating the game here, at least from what I've seen. And with the support of their healing, of course, and their DPS, they're dominating this game. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard Visor has at least silver damage, maybe bronze silver damage, with how high charged he was that whole game as Azaria, just melting through people. But it looks like a couple of, let's see, hero selection screen picks. Looks like we're going to see almost the same exact comp from Tw1sted here on the attack, except they're going to be running the Hanzo. On the side of 7evonwatch, a lot of undecided things at this point. Looks like they might try to run the exact same comp again, I'm not sure. No, they will get the Mercy out there, this time with the Lucio. Kind of a interesting comp after what happened in the last round. I mean, kind of a mix of dive, a mix of... I actually don't know what's going on here. Looks like they have the pharmacy with the dive, which... or at least dive tanks, which we did see work earlier today in our earlier game, especially on Li Zhang. It was very effective. We'll go with that. Weebology getting a 5-piece in that game, if you remember, anybody that was watching that. It was huge. So maybe they're going to try something similar here.
It was huge.
So we're going to see
It's going to be huge.
a similar setup, except they're throwing in the Sombra this time.
Kind of stealing the Sombra. I don't know how this works on defense from Sombra Pharah.
And of course you have the problem of if you play Sombra like a second DPS, you're going to be lacking damage, especially with the comp they picked here, as Winston's already low on damage, Sombra's really low on damage, and Mercy for the most part really isn't used for her damage at all. It does come out though, so I mean you're really low damage here unless you become aggressive. And it looks like it will cost them. They've already lost 2. Assisted out of the mech. We'll see how this goes. It's Star Rosa. Or Star Rose. Yeah, Star Rose. That name got me for a second. Looks like the point's clear. Only one left is looks like Owen, but is ganged up on. And another sub-minute capture here by Tw1sted. Taking map 2. Yeah, this team, they still look really strong with this lineup. I will not lie. This, if you ever have to play this 6 stack, you're in some trouble. Oh, the fat triple by Sith here, and I believe did he get another one? I don't think he did. No, that's when he got grabbed. But nice play by Sith on the Diva, actually. Kind of something we haven't seen him on too much. Getting the play there.
I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen Sith by Diva, to be honest with you.
Can't remember. But there you go. That will knock us straight into halftime. That's right, hype in the chat. Let's go. Halftime. I always try to pick some players to look out for going into the second round or second half of the game. I do think at this point Baiser is definitely one of those picks, just with the support he has, and it looks like the synergy this team has built up. Yeah, he's going to be a dangerous Zarya, and he will be able to melt through people like a DPS. So he's basically a third DPS with more health. That's definitely a man to look out for here.
You know, honestly, Baiser's play reminds me a lot of No Killer from Clear Sights. They play very similar. They play very aggressive. They play very forward with the team. They coordinate really well with their tanks. So I think Jiggly and Baiser remind me a lot of Axe Crit and Nub from Clear Sights. Very similar playstyles there.
I will agree, they are almost identical, I think, in their aggression and everything. But Baiser and Jiggly definitely a duo to watch on the side of Tw1sted. On the side of 7evonwatch, I do think we got to look out for SC, especially with the maps that are coming up, along with Sith. I mean, of course, we know what our next map is Lijiang. There's a lot of environmental spots there for Lucios if they so choose. And I mean, they have 2 of the better Lucios in this league, if not the best. So you always got to be watching for that. And of course, they can pull out the far as well, just to kind of harass this team a little bit if needed. We do have a couple of subs for Tw1sted here. Turtles is going to be coming in for Misses, and we'll have GT coming in for Near.
Yeah, so let's make sure that GT is good.
So yeah, my 2 to watch from 7evonwatch are going to be
She's
SC
good.
and Sith. On the side of Tw1sted, of course, that tank duo we've been seeing, Jiggly and Baiser. So
yeah, and GT is a. I think we'll be looking at probably a soldier or a tracer coming out from GT here. Probably the tracer being on control point. Mobile will pull out the Pharah, so maybe a quick switch there. But Kira is known to go to the McCree, so probably just depends on what they're needing at the time.
And with that, we will enter map 3. Both teams are ready to go. So map 3, it's 2-0 currently for Tw1sted. Apparently the fortunes have swapped here on Lijiang, as in this week alone, almost every game that has come to this map has ended up 3-0 for the most part in the last couple days. So I'm kind of wondering if 7evonwatch can be the ones to break that streak. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, I swear my throat is dry AF from commentating the last.
Your fancy water.
Some of my store brand water that I don't even know where it came from. It don't look nasty, but it's been in the fridge since I got here, so we'll see. It tastes good.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it looks like we might see the Hammond if that pick is to be believed. Ham and Ryan would be an interesting combo, especially for this is Gardens. I remember now, people. No one typed that in the chat, I swear. I remember this time. Only took me till week 3,
right.
But I remember.
Right before we switch the maps up.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last week of Stage 1, so next week we'll have all new maps.
Yep. insider information. I know exactly which 4 they are, and they're going to be great. I almost guarantee. Totally not my own opinion, but it's going to be Horizon, Oasis, Junkertown, and Blizzard World. I almost guarantee.
I will absolutely quit this league if those are the maps. I made this league and I will quit it if those are the maps.
Oh.
Those are the worst maps in the entire game.
Oh, that hurts. But it does look like we're seeing the Lucio to speed boost Twisted onto the point really quickly. Actually, both teams running it. Mobile on it for 7evonwatch. We'll see what they're doing.
Yeah, let's see SC on this Junkrat, which I don't think is a bad call, especially on Gardens. Junkrat's really
Wesley sliding in and getting Visor. You're going to see Star Rose actually on the Mercy. Interesting pick there.
Star does get the res off, but will get punished by SC.
You know, it looks like this fight is going in favor of 7evonwatch right now. I will say in the few scrims we have played them, this was one of their better map types.
But GC's going to be the only one left. Oh, no.
There goes Kira. Actually,
Kira on
Farah.
Kira will play Farah occasionally. It's not something he plays a lot of, but...
That's a surprise to me. I never knew he did.
Yeah, he does play it occasionally. He actually does get some pretty nice barrages off. As you know, the team motto for Twisted, press triangle to win.
Press triangle to win. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they've been doing a lot of that. Ult economy has been a big part of these games so far. As Mobile
with the boot.
I knew he'd get at least one here. This is a Lucio's Paradise, right next to Elios. Wesley, nice pin. Pulse bomb getting one on SC.
Still starting to fall in the favor. Looks like we're even back
double
out on
shatter.
nice shatter. Both supports.
Both supports.
Yeah, and he's going to be cleaned up quickly. That was a huge shatter. Barrage will come out.
Gonna get
but
one.
It's only going to take Mobile.
I will say I do like the ham and coming out here on Lijiang Garden. I know it's one of the better maps for him, especially since he can just swing around the middle and be a nuisance.
Yeah, you feel me? You feel me, don't you, Saskia? Like that's oh, Sith! That looks like he got himself hung under the map.
Bye, Visor. He's gone again. Once again, a 6v5.
Oh, what a nice shatter there from Jiggly. But the Sunbury's gonna come out and save him.
It will, but Kira swapping to the Reaper, gonna try to get some more damage in the tanks here. Sound barrier as Kira gets 2. Maybe gonna make it 3 on the hamster. We'll see. Coalescence coming out on the side of 7evonwatch. Maybe just to stall or give them enough time to get their team back. We'll see.
But they're gonna. Looks like Mana still is gonna switch over to that Doomfist.
This minefield out and destroyed, but it looks like 7evonwatch is holding for percentage here, which is not a bad idea. At this point, they have hit the point of no return.
Out. Oh, a nice 2-piece there with the tire from SC.
Did I say it was percent?
Jiggly unable to get.
Planned.
Jiggly unable to get anyone with that charge. He literally landed in between 3 people and then a single one more grab.
There we go. Grab.
Visor once again.
Gonna get 3 in there, but no follow up.
It's like they're just gonna be trying to chase. They're just chasing turtles around on this point, trying to get him. Pulse bomb's gonna come out on the sit and he's gonna go down. Kira already with his die.
Yep, gonna get one. Yep, the respawns are definitely coming back in, so this fight's basically reset. Shatter getting 1, which is the Lucio, but immediately punished.
Kira's gonna able to drop Westy.
Oh, and res too. Oof.
So it looks like Tw1sted are gonna flip this point here.
Looks like they could. We'll see if Mobile can hold out for reinforcements. We'll see. 1, 2, 3.
Respawns are coming out.
Oh, and the sound barrier.
Here comes the sound barrier.
And a steal on the
nothing to do.
Doomfist. Nani?
Yeah, Mana still switched to this Doomfist. He did it last week, I believe, as well. But Kira will drop him. Counter sound barrier coming in. Kira hops the charge and a nice shatter there.
So this fight's just going on forever and ever. Jeez.
This overtime has been absolutely insane. Then you have to give that to Mobile and Turtles there on the Lucios. Just Lucio battling it up.
Pulse bomb used, and we'll get none. But it looks like it might have
another die, but won't find anything with it.
It just looks like at this point we're seeing 7evonwatch either trying to win this fight with their stagger and get the people in, or they're just going for percent, which they did.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they had 99% at the start of that fight. So, to see, we probably had an entire another round just in that contest there.
I have to say that was.
I think.
huge.
Personally, I think they should have used that and not used a single ult, in my opinion. I think if they don't use a single ult there, they come into this fight with 6 ults and they win the game. That's just me personally.
And then you have Turtles getting the nice boop. So it's not just Mobile getting the boops here on the bridge. Everyone is at risk. Be careful.
Everybody gets a boop. You get a boop. You get a boop. Visor already at 93 for the scrap. Nah, he's got it just that easily.
Oh, and
Meteor
here
Strike's
comes
gonna
the
come
giant fist. Oop, and there goes the
got the Visor, and Visor just uses it to eat that charge.
triple shatter there by Chickly.
Such a bad move. You never try to just Meteor Strike a lone Zarya. It's probably the worst thing you can do with that ult. You're just literally feeding an ult charge there.
I think it, never mind. I thought it might have been for a switch, but it was kind of interesting to see where they go with this. Assists.
They do have this grab. They're already at 66%. I think you save this grab here. You either grab super early and hope for a second to gain grab in the final fight, or please make the second going bridge. They are going to go bridge.
I honestly think at this point you just grab them as soon as they get onto that bridge and don't give them time to push back in with a second push.
Yeah, and then he did pop this grab a little early. I think that was a bit unnecessary. He didn't really need to.
Got 2 in it, but there was no follow-up. But that's
It was
not gonna
still falling in their favor, but I think that you had more potential out of that grab.
And there's the Death Blossom going to clear the point. Besides Mobile, he's trying to get back in. Nope.
But with just that high charge Zarya, there's not a lot you can really do.
Yeah, no. The laser pointer becomes.
And Tw1sted are going to come back and win the site from a 99-0 take that. Well done.
Yeah, Tw1sted has always been a team that's really good on the defensive, even when they're really aggressive. And I honestly think the only way you beat Tw1sted is to out-aggress them. And at this point, we're not seeing 7evonwatch play the kind of comps or playing the kind of style to out-aggress Tw1sted.
Yeah, I'm going to really agree with you.
Ah, there we go. More water. Yeah, yeet. But here we go. What are we going to see here for control point? A really Brig and Brawl dominated map just because of the close quarters throughout. Looks like Tw1sted's going to run the exact same comp from Garden. On the side of 7evonwatch, we're going to see almost what they ended with, except throwing in the Brig. Looks like both teams just kind of pecking at each other here to start it off. Which team will be able to get the first pick and potentially take advantage?
Visor already getting this high energy.
Yeah, there you go, and that will... Ooh, the res does get off though, so it is back to 6-6.
And they're going to take this point with the entire enemy team standing right in front of them. They never aggressed on to stop them from gaining progress.
That is... Wesley stopped there because of the bubble and the double charge. As Turtle's getting a pick there, finishing off Wesley.
I know all of us Reinhardt players are super excited for this new Brigitte rework where you're going to stop losing to Brigitte every time you try to charge.
You know, it's a happy day, yet a sad day all the same for me.
Yeah, as someone on both sides of the coin, I can understand. Already with this and Visor melted instantly.
Yeah, the laser says no way.
Visor already had this grab, and he's gonna go ahead and pop it. Yeah, that's a good call here.
Both the shield.
You instantly win the fight. Now you're gonna.
Oh.
Sith does get demeched.
Chickly missing the shatter there, getting juggled by the Doomfist. Rip, but it
Visor pretty much single-handedly winning this fight right now.
It does look like though they are trying to mount a comeback here, at least trying to keep it somewhat reasonable.
Visor already at 50% for another ult. Literally just popped grab and already back at the 50%. That's insane.
I mean, I think I would not be surprised if he's at 90,
I think they're over-aggressing here. I think they need to pull back. They're definitely over-aggressing here.
Honestly, in this scenario, I believe they're doing the right thing. I mean, with the way this enemy team is played,
you pull up, but
passive, I would push all the way up there.
You definitely pull up into this one. You don't push outside though. I don't think you cross this line there. It's a mistake Arctic makes quite often. So,
Ooh,
Kira sneaking up.
getting 2. Make it 3. Getting the triple. Nice hit. We're just gonna watch the Edge Master murder away here on the tanks for a second. As that should secure this map. And a 3-0 right now. Yep. For Tw1sted Fate.
Absolutely, Visor is just being something else right now.
And 7evonwatch, you were the chosen ones. I was hoping you'd break the streak. But it looks like that's where we'll end here on the Li Jiang part of this season. Oh, Wesley, though.
We finally get to see Tw1sted have a good Li Jiang.
But no, without a little bit of trouble at the start. I mean, 7evonwatch did great, and that play proves it. That was part of their big old streak to take point and get it to 99% before we saw Tw1sted mount their great defensive towards the end. But this will knock us into map 4 once again. 3-0 going to one team. This will lead us to Route 66. Alrighty, let's see if we got any swaps. As I swap, nope, I didn't mean to click move. I want to change the map first. There we go, Route 66. Our payload map for the evening. I kind of wonder, with this type brawl style we see from Tw1sted, playing against this more, it seems passive 7evonwatch at this point. If they're just going to push and try for maybe an aggressive dive. Just straight up dive in on them, maybe with the Reaper flanking around, dive in on 7evonwatch, which are usually just kind of waiting.
Yeah, 7evonwatch does seem to be a bit more passive. And I think that plays to their strength on a map not like Li Jiang. I think on a map like Nepal, 7evonwatch is going to be scary. A map like Elios, 7evonwatch is going to be scary. I think that they're kind of the team that's going to play these kind of crazy comps. I mean, and as the chat's saying right now, you know, Kira is really giving 7evonwatch a lot of issues, but it's really coming off the back of their tank play creating that space. If any of you know anything about competitive Overwatch, or any Overwatch in general, just to be honest with you, tanks win games. Your DPS players are going to get your big plays, they're going to be your big names, but your tanks win your games. If you lose the tank battle, you're going to lose every fight. And Jiggly and Visor right now are winning every team fight, or winning every tank fight.
And as you
Hell,
say that,
Visor's winning by himself.
And then Visor is subbed out right as you say that. We have Mrs. Crit and Near Thread coming in for Star and Visor.
Yeah, I don't think that's about it. Turtles is a very good Zarya as well. Zarya, Turtles was the Zarya before they got Visor, so I don't think you take away from your previous players anyway. But
I'm about to say, because I always remember Turtles as a support, but you can't forget he does pull out the off tank every once in a while. It is really nice to see. So let's see. Now let's see if both teams are ready here. Then we'll jump into map 4. If I can spell on my phone. Okay, Tw1sted's ready. We're just waiting for confirmation from 7evonwatch. Then we'll jump into our final map here. Route 66. Alright, confirmation from both. This will lead to Route 66. Here we go. Map 4, 3-0 in favor of Tw1sted.
He is high. He is high.
Got some interesting combo in the chat there from the side of Tw1sted. Here we go though. Map 4. Kind of an interesting lineup here from Tw1sted. Haven't got to quite see these 6 work together before, so I'm really excited to see what they can pull out here. So let's let's see. I will say the conversation going on in the chat is actually very interesting. I do agree with a lot of points they're making. Doomfist.
You tried to play that Doom too much along with the Mercy Brig. You know, I see that 7 needs a Reaper. Anything to give that trouble onto Bison and Jiggly. I see the issues in not denying that space.
I will say, yeah, there was a lot of space open there. Just going off that conversation, yeah, there was a lot of space made by Bison and Jiggly, and they are doing a damn good job of making space as tanks. They are a scary duo.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Near thread though, looks like it's actually pulling out the Zarya here.
That's yeah, 7 senior and Kira on the Ana.
All right, we got a lot of mixing up here. Kira on Ana, Turtles on the Hanzo. I mean, Near on the Zarya. That's an interesting group there. But on the side of 7Watch, we are seeing the Rhine Hog combo that we've seen them run a couple times in scrims before, and I think in a few games. They're also running Brig Moira with the triple tank. Oh, looked like they were going goats for a second, but no, they will swap that up. Maybe attack Torb? Please attack Torb? No! Owen, you were the chosen one. Why does no one play attack or defense Torb? Rip. But we'll see how this push goes in for him, as they are trying triple tank. Triple support there, pulling out goats. Nice. I am kinda interested in why they're running the goats here on this map. I mean, it is a lot more open than you think. And goats is really more of a brawling type comp. So like more for control and maybe starting off on the point of an hybrid, in my opinion. But it looks like this fight taking place right in front of the gas station. Jiggly getting one on the shatter, which is the Brig. Eliminated. There you go. All it takes is one pick, and it looks like we're going to see Tw1sted start dissecting a 7Watch here, just from this angle. Yep, there goes Sith, making two. Even with spawn advantage technically in the hands of 7Watch, you can stagger out these players a decent bit. And just like the last three maps, we're seeing Jiggly, a dominant force here in this setup, and Near being a perfect Zarya here, doing a lot of good things. I like it. Oh, the hook though. Gets Near, not gonna kill him though. He's able to get back and get healed up. Valk and grab, gonna get 4! We'll at least finish off 2 from the grab. Nice play there by Tw1sted. A nice force. Oh, there you go, Wesley. Gonna at least get a pick there on GT, but Near's gonna pay him right back, getting their Moira. Oh, and not just the Moira, also gonna get the Diva mech. Kira even killing someone there on getting the hog. Beautiful. Everybody's getting kills here. Ravenous Turtle's nice headshot on the Diva out of mech. And it just looks like something needs to be swapped up here on the side of 7. They're once again staying a really long time on this triple tank double support. I do believe if you're going to run triple anything in this case, as Near gets a nice double, you run the triple support with the Brig, and you work with what you got. Like, you're really good characters here.
I think Sith here needs to pull to the Reaper. You go triple tank, or you go Ryan Zarya with the, and then you just keep the hog, and you just melt everything.
I could agree with that, or even with the comp that we're seeing out of Tw1sted, you might even try to dive on those back lines a little bit. As honestly, they have 2 supports that you can easily dive upon. The Ana especially, as Owen getting a nice pick there on the Mercy, getting misses there, but is immediately headshot for it. Grab Dragons again, gonna get 1. GT gonna get a kill as well. Near thread going off the map somewhere, but that's not gonna matter much as Tw1sted getting all but Sith on the Hanzo. So here we go. This will most likely be the final push for 7-Watch here on Route 66. Let's see what they can pull out here. They do have one ult, and they have a couple they could get up this fight. Shatter gonna get one, gonna get Wesley. Looked like it kind of bugged out there. It looked like it should have been a 4-piece. Rip. But that ain't gonna matter. It seems there's Nano Ryan coming out by Jiggly, along with the High Noon. Jiggly will get one on the Nano Ryan. High Noon gonna get blocked, but that's fine as they're just picking apart 7-Watch here. Oh, and just trying to get to the point will not happen. Alright, so you're Twisted. You got 4 minutes to push up to that first corner. Most of the time, unless they run something like really cheesy on the defense, maybe around that first corner, I almost guarantee we'll see another like sub 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half push here, depending on what they run.
Oh no.
As just the way we've seen on 7-Watch so far, they're really passive. For the most part, they are trying to get a bit more aggressive later on in this game. But it's just not working out with the space being created by Jiggly, especially on the tank.
So bad. Yes.
And looking at the comp they're trying to run, just from the assemble screen, 4 support at the moment for Twisted. Make it 5, 6.
Oh, they're doing it. They're doing it. The Arctic BM coming out.
Never mind. There you go. Jiggly, you're going to the
Oh,
right.
wow. Wow,
Five
they're
support.
making Jiggly. Jiggly doesn't get to join in.
Like, this is a bad fanfic in the making right here. 5 supports, 1 tank, coming to a theater near you. On the other side, however.
I wish Arctic would do this for me.
On the other side, we might see the defense tour, please, Man of Steel. Yes, they're pulling out the defense tour, finally. It has to happen at some point. Y'all can't just keep teasing me here. I won't lie, I think I've become almost a Torbjorn main and everything but comp at this point. It's wonderful. But it does look like we'll see a May, Hug, Tracer, Torb, Hanzo, McCree. 5 DPS, 1 tank, basically 6, counting the Hog.
No. Jiggly did switch over to the Ana, so we're gonna go. They're gonna go with 5 DPS at Torb.
Nano Core.
And Kira already dropped Sith.
Wait, what do you mean? They only have 4 supports. Briggs a DPS, especially with the power boost. There you go. The Torb turn just kind of firing away into Twisted, unfazed. As I mean, literally they have 4, technically 5 healers with Brig, and they're just pushing through. Yes, the Torb hammer kill. Wait, we get to see Torb on both sides. I love it. This is my favorite game of the season. Nothing will change my mind. As Man of Steel was the last hope. Shut out real quick there. As we'll see Twisted give us another 4-0 here. This weekend's just been full of them. As Turtles get into play. Alrighty, these last 2 games we've had today, Exit and Stage 1, have been very interesting in multiple ways. Like, just the amount of different people we saw getting played to the game in this game compared to the last was pretty interesting. I mean, last game we had a heck of a flex in Weebology, if you remember. Jesus, that was some good flicks. But both teams get my respect. Just because they both pulled out the Torb. Thank God.
I'm gonna dock some respect from Twisted for the BM there.
I mean, that part I understand with the 5 supports or 4 supports, whatever.
When Kira outhills Mrs. Crit. Facts.
Whoa, that didn't need to be in the screen.
Too bad someone already pointed it out.
Oof. You know, you tried your best, but this will give us 2 4-0s today. Both very different in ways, though. I mean, this one was more of a dominant showing, I think, in my mind, having casted both. Twisted, with their starting 6 throughout those first 3 maps, for the most part, looked very, very dominant. They kind of remind me of the team we saw building up to the playoffs last year. last season anyway, they were that dominant force again that we know them for. So maybe they're starting to get that synergy with their new pieces together. They could be a heck of a dangerous force entering the rest of the season.
I definitely agree. But I guess it's time to choose the MVP.
I don't think that's going to be a very hard choice this time.
Yeah, I think
It,
we both kind of agree with Visor. It's kind of hard carrying them through those first 3 maps.
I can't really give it to Visor alone though. If you pick one tank, you gotta pick both in this case, because without Orion, you don't have a high-powered Czar. So I do give it to Jiggly as well. Jiggly and Visor, the DPS, sorry, not DPS. They were the tank duo of a lifetime, honestly. Just melting through 7-watch with both hammer and laser equipped to high damage.
Absolutely. So, congratulations to those guys getting to share our MVP this week. And that's going to be all from us, folks. This was the last game of the week, wasn't it?
I actually don't know. I'm gonna go check right now, but if you missed any of this week's action, don't forget to check out the YouTube page. Most of the games should be on there, if not all. Let me go check the game times. I always forget where it is now because we swapped around the Discord. Yeah, no, there's no more games this week. So starting next week, we will be entering Stage 2 of the season. We still have a couple of undefeated teams, or a undefeated team at least. I don't know if it's plural anymore, entering our next stage. So let's see how they'll handle the new maps chunked their way, I believe starting tomorrow, correct? When the games are released? Or before?
Whenever OG gets them out.
Gotcha. So keep an eye on the Discord for that. It'll probably be an announcement. But that'll be it for stage 1. Standings will be out shortly after the stream. But with that,
All
we will
right, guys.
catch you
Thank
in
you
the next
guys.
game. And thank you, Mr. Crit, for joining me on commentary this time.